Hello, this video is mainly for a Note+ project, but others can also use it. In this video we go over how we use the methods and technologies in our blended learning and how instructional design is the key factor in this. In our school we have three main faculties. One is media, other is IT, and third is energy and automation. I mainly work in energy and automation. Thus, I will give overview how I use instructional design and different digital platforms for our learning. In our school, we have different solutions, mainly the Microsoft solutions and secondly, solutions from the state. The Microsoft solution includes Teams, Office and the similar programs, and the state programs include a Moodle program. In our instructional design, mainly we use Bloom taxonomy and Conan learning. In Bloom taxonomy, we have 6 levels. In the first level, we use the remembering part. That means students will get some materials and they should learn it. That means they reading it and understanding it. How do we control it? For example, we give some materials to students and they will get online test about those materials. If they score big enough points, they will move on and get the second materials. But this is the only first level of taxonomy. After that, we come to the second level, which is understanding. That means student can read the materials, but we don't know does he understand or not. For that, mainly we use group works. That means in the class, students will get group work in which they should understand and explain to teachers what they understood. In this part, the crucial part of the teacher is to ask the tough questions. That means to ask the questions which students can't just give a fact. Student should give a reason why this fact is true or false. In this manner, teachers will assure that students will understand. And then comes the third level. In third level, students should analyze the known knowledge. That means in our work, we have the project-based learning. That means students will get the project and will apply the known knowledge to complete the task. Usually this task is quite hard for students because some of the students will learn on the facts, but they don't understand how to use them. In the project work, students will get knowledge and will they apply them. And the main role of the students is to get the right answers. In our design, the instructions should be very clear. That means the step-by-step instructions will give to students the understanding what we need from them. For example, in some works we use the video materials where we understand what the main goal is. In our instruction design we use a lot of video materials. That means all the video materials go to YouTube and the students can get there from own device. In the fourth level, students should analyze their work. That means reflection is the main part of this process. If they get their work, they will look what is good and what is bad. Mainly, we don't grade it because if we should grade it, the analyze part will be lost. Sometimes students will cooperate and analyze some specific task. After that, we will understand and through reflections get to the right answer. In fifth level, students should evaluate their work or other work. That means we have criteria for some grade and students will grade each other's work. Sometimes it's work if students evaluate correctly, sometimes teacher help them. In higher level of taxonomy, there's grade part. That means we get students the blank slate and give them all the parts that they need. We don't give them what they should make, how they should make, all of this comes from them the knowledge. Sometimes students don't understand what we want from them, but when we explain them that you have the knowledge, how do you apply that, we have great success in this part. Second part of instructional design is Conan learning. That means in this model we look at the task that we give the students and look how engaged they are. In the first level there's just reading. That means if we give students some text materials, probably about 10% of it will be remembered after 2 weeks. In a half year, maybe even less. That means usually the reading part is lowest part of the learning and instruction design. Second part is hearing the words. Usually it's a lecture, but sometimes we skip this part and go to the third level. In third level, we have looking at a picture. That means we have some kind of diagram or schematics which we look together and try to understand what is made there. Usually about 20% of this remains in the end of the 2 weeks. In the fourth level, there is watching a movie. In our instruction design, we use mainly this part. That means about 50% of this movie will remain after 2 weeks. Instructional videos are great parts of our design. That means we get one video and students can watch this video many times. And when they don't understand something, they can ask the teacher. And when they have the similar problem in the real classwork, they can go back to the video and look at it again and get them more knowledge from it. The second level is demonstration. Usually demonstration is made by teacher and usually it's not filmed. That means if students have some kind of problems, they ask the teacher and teacher will show how to make this something. All those parts are actually passive involvement. That means students are in passive role and the teacher in the active role. Usually in our instructional design, we try to make the student active role. That means in every task there is something that students should make. Usually it's some kind of test or look at the video or comment on something or make the group work. In our analysis, we saw that group work made in class get more meaningful. That means all the YouTube, all the videos will go to homework. The main part of interaction between students and teachers will go to the group works. That means we have many tasks in which students should look at the materials and find the right answers. Usually those answers are shallow and after the presentation teacher will ask some kind of a deeper learning questions and after that the real learning will start. In our instruction design we look at all the aspects of learning. It begins from the students, from teachers and the interaction between them. For example, when students and teachers are apart, for example in hybrid learning, students can always use all the materials that we use in the class. And after the classwork, students can always look at the materials once again and find the right answers. Today I will give an overview of different subjects, but mainly they use all the same platforms and the solutions. Because we have less and less time with students, some part of the teaching process go to the homework. That means in the e-solutions or digital solutions, in which students can learn the material and come to the class and apply those solutions. That means students use different platforms to enhance the learning. And when they come to class with the teacher, they'll give the experience the new meaning. That means in part students can learn something in home, but mainly the main part is still in the classroom. Mainly we use e-learning in theoretical work and the practical work is in the classroom. That means students can prepare for practical work, but still it should be made in the class where a teacher can help them and give the new meaning to the knowledge that gained in the home. In the face-to-face classes, mainly we use different group works to enhance the learning, because all the theoretical knowledge should be gained before the class. And when they come to your classroom, they give in their group work the deeper meaning. In classroom, we mainly used project-based or problem-based learning. That means we give students some kind of problem or some kind of project, and in this project they will use the knowledge that they gain from additional homework. Mainly we give students the problems. Something that we saw in our life or they saw in theirs. Mainly we'll try to use the active learning. That means students should actively engage in the learning and be active in the classroom. Now I give a few overview of the few classes that we teach. For example, digital technologies. That means there are slides which we go to classroom together. When we go together, all of this is recorded in Teams. And when the students are home, they can engage by looking at what's happening in the class. After that, if the recording was good enough, we cut it and put it in the YouTube. Then we have the practical work. That means we have simulators in which students will make some kind of simulations, upon the instructions, and when it's done, they will have a test. In this test, they will look at the schematics and find the right answers. In this part, there's only right or wrong answers. There is nothing in between. In final stages, there's a so-called exam or final assignment in which students will try to get all the knowledge that they gain from the learning. Second subject is home automation. In this part, we'll use mainly online learning. That means all the materials, all the lectures are online. That means when students get their assignments, mainly they should watch a video. This video is short but to the point. And after that, after the video, they look at the test and complete it. When it's completed, they get the grade. In classroom, students get group work. That means they have some kind of assignment in which they have to explain something. When they learned some theoretical basis in home, now in the classroom they will apply it. After classroom, there's individual project assignment. That means they will apply individual solutions in their own projects. Then we have, for example, hydraulics and pneumatics. In this we have practical work in the classroom that give students about 50% of the grade. That means they will get the needed materials, they will prepare in their home and come to the classroom with. In this subject we mainly use pre-made recordings that students can watch on their own, and when they come to the classroom in the group work, they use this knowledge to get the higher meaning, and after that they go to the practical work or the laboratory and make those tasks. Then we have a so-called installation subject. That means students will have to install something. This is a little bit harder because you can't get homework the installation. In this part, students get all the parts and they will prepare in the home how to install them. And when they come to the classroom, they will start to install them in the class. And when they get some kind of problems, usually teacher will help them. At this stage, the critical thinking is quite crucial because there's lots of information and students should find the right information and use it to complete the task. Usually we use the online platforms and guided learning. Also, we look at the key competences that we'll need in the future work. In our instruction design, we are storytellers, and by the end of our stories, there is something new that students will know. In our instruction design, students are active and use different IT solutions to enhance their learning, and the teacher is mainly the mentor who guided the students to the right answers.